Diplomat KP Fabian also joining us on this broadcast. Mr. Fabian, how significant do you think this is going to be? Do you expect there to be any change as far as India's official position on the war is concerned?
I do not expect any official change. India has taken a principled stand, namely that this is not the era of war and that the two belligerents should sit down and talk, because with more killing, nothing is going to be gained. At the same time, it is important that President Zelensky has a conversation with Prime Minister Modi, because Prime Minister Modi is also representing the G20. So it is a question of having a significant conversation, but not with any immediate impact on the course of the war or move towards a ceasefire.
Right, Mr. Fabian, thank you so much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. Analyst Pathikrit Payne also joining us to get us more perspective of how significant this is going to be, because the kind of relations we share with Russia are also going to be supremely important, Pathikrit, isn't it? That is also something that the Prime Minister will be thinking of when he has this conversation with Ukraine, and the kind of expectations that Mr. Zelensky would have from us.
Well, absolutely. There are 2 points I want to make. First of all, this war today has become far more complex than what it was when it started. Today, it has literally become a de facto war between Russia and NATO. And much as Europe doesn't want this war to continue, it has continued. It has continued to keep on supporting, Ukraine with all kinds of arsenal. And that invariably is having an impact on the war. Secondly, the fact that they want Zelensky to be there and they want him to meet Prime Minister Modi itself signifies that there is a certain level of failure on the part of Europe and including United States in terms of doing any kind of mediation to bring this war to an end. And therefore, it profoundly increases the stature of India as a country which can actually negotiate and create a dispute settlement mechanism which is better and more effective, because India does not try to have any kind of an ulterior motive in it. It only wants peace. But at the same time, when Zelensky is invited into a forum like G7 and Putin is not invited, then it actually questions the objective of many of the powerful European countries, as also of United States, as to whether they want the war to end amicably or they want to end the war with Ukraine being given more weightage and more preference. If that is the case, then I don't think it's going to have any impact so far as the war is concerned. But so far as India is concerned, yes, Prime Minister Modi's stature and India's stature definitely gets enhanced. But at the same time, I think India will be very, very firm on certain issues. So far as Indo-Russia relation is concerned, it has been dehyphenated from everything else. That relation will have no impact or no bearing.
Yes.
So far as these meetings are concerned. Of course, Zelensky will try to press upon many things, that India should not buy oil and all that thing. But I think India, India keeping its own interest in mind, will have to make sure that its own challenges are taken care of before it can do anything so far as the Russia-Ukraine war is concerned. India has tried its best to do things, but at the same time, when Russia is also at the receiving end with the kind of arsenal that Europe has supplied to Ukraine, I think it's a war which has become very dirty today and beyond any kind of recuperation or any kind of redemption. So in that kind of a scenario, India's stature does increase. But I think Prime Minister Modi also would press upon Zelensky that compromise, if it has to happen from both sides. There cannot be a compromise from the Russian side alone, and India cannot be pushed and cornered that you should not have relation with Russia. That is something Prime Minister Modi will make it very clear, because in the last few days also, we have seen Europe is trying to press upon India, we should not buy oil. That is something we should keep in mind, and I'm sure Prime Minister Modi will make it very clear that India's interest will not be compromised, even as India tries to bring about some kind of rapprochement between these two countries so that the war ends.
Yes.
Because eventually this war is impacting smaller countries, marginally countries, and countries with no
Absolutely,
oil,
and it's been 15 months and counting, and the war continues there. The repercussions are being felt worldwide, which is why this meeting is extremely significant on the sidelines of the G7 summit. I thank all our panelists for joining us with their perspective, and Maria to get us that input. With that, it's a wrap from my side.